Greetings. This is Justin Allen with the Elite Nurse Practitioner. Welcome to the Elite Nurse Practitioner Show, podcast dedicated to nurse practitioner entrepreneurism and achieving financial freedom, where I talk directly with nurse practitioners who need help. Listen up, our market is saturated. Jobs can be scarce. We are underpaid. We are undervalued. We are taken advantage of by the sharks within the healthcare system, and frankly, screw that. I'm sick of it, and it's time for a change. And listen, I'm here to help make that happen. We are powerful. We can forge a path where we are in control of our career and ultimately our financial and personal well-being. You do not need to submit to healthcare administrators and your doctor overlords. You do not have to take a measly salary. You do not have to work 50 to 60 hours a week. There is a different way, and I'm here to show you that path. This podcast is raw and unfiltered. I have not talked to the nurse practitioners in this podcast prior to the call outside of an email exchange to schedule the episode. What you're about to listen to is a consultation session between a nurse practitioner and myself. It is real, it is unscripted, it is unplanned, and I have no idea what we're going to talk about. Anything and everything can happen during our conversation. The nurse practitioners in these episodes are struggling with an issue in their professional or financial life, and they have reached out to me for help. My goal is to help the nurse practitioner with actionable advice that will enhance and improve their professional, business, and financial life. My other goal is to hopefully help my nurse practitioner sisters and brothers build a more productive, powerful, and free life. So I hope the content and information within these podcast episodes does just that. All right, onto the episode. Hello, everyone. Today we'll be talking to Love, who recently graduated with her acute care nurse practitioner degree. She is taking her boards next week and has 2 offers on the table in terms of employment. She is needing help navigating the beginning of her career, basically. She is torn in between working or starting her own practice, or possibly both. If she went down the entrepreneurial path, she would be interested in starting an IV hydration practice, where she would also provide concierge care and possibly aesthetic services. She essentially is just needing help figuring out where she should go. Hey, Love, how are you?
Well, how are you today?
I am good. Thanks for hopping on this call.
Thank you so much. I appreciate this.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. So tell us a little bit about yourself. You just graduated MP school and you're doing the acute care thing. So tell us just a little bit about your background.
All right. So yes, I recently just graduated. I'm very excited about it. Just a new chapter. I've been an RN for 16 years now, mostly working in the ER, a little bit of ICU in the very beginning, but mostly just ER, and love it. And I just wanted to continue like the acute care path with my nurse practitioner degree.
Okay. What made you go from RN to NP? Was there any kind of specific motivation behind it?
So initially I wanted to do CRNA. This was years, like probably 3 or 4 years back, but didn't fit my lifestyle because I was a single mom. So it was easier to go this route. I knew that I needed to continue to move up and just couldn't continue doing the bedside anymore. It just was getting rough, especially in the ER.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a young person's game. I mean, you can't do bedside all your career. You just can't do it.
Nope, not at all.
All right. So you just graduated. You're taking your boards here in a couple of weeks. So congratulations there.
Thank you.
So I guess, what do you want to do? So it sounds like that you got a couple job offers. So tell me a little bit about that.
So the first one is in the ER where I work, and one of the head PAs, I guess the lead PA, came up to me. Is like, "Hey, when are you taking your test? I would really like to bring you on board." So I'm like, I don't know. Just seeing, what they go through there. And then I told her that I was, only licensed for 13 and older. And they see, the whole population from infants all the way up. And then they have this new company coming in. So a lot of PAs have left because of the contract. So like, I know all the inside. It's nice to have the offer, but I don't really know about that one. I'm not sure about that.
Okay. Let's talk about that just real quick. So How much are they offering you?
She didn't say. This was literally like, we're in passing because we work together and she's a lead PA, and she's like, "Hey, I would really like for you to come on board." From what I heard them say, they're fighting for 60 an hour is what I remember them saying, because there's a lot of negotiations that's going on right now. A new group is coming in, is what, to my understanding, is what's happening.
$60 an hour to work in the ER. Screw that. What a ripoff. All right. No, come on. $60 an hour. Give me a break. You make 45 as an RN. Come on. $60 an hour. What an insult. That's crazy. Yeah. Where are you located at, so I can kind of get a general idea of $60 an hour in an ER?
So I'm literally probably 20 minutes outside of DC, Washington, DC.
Okay. So you live in an extremely high cost of living area and they're paying you $60 an hour. Wow. I'll tell you, they're so generous. Let me tell you. Wow. You should get on your knees and praise them. Come on, $60 an hour. I wouldn't work in an ER for less than $85 an hour. Hell. All right. Anyways, other job offer.
So as a vascular group, we haven't spoke about any monetary compensation or anything like that yet. Just literally have been on one interview. So
No idea what the pay rate or anything for that is.
they have it as a range. I know that one of my girlfriends who just did the same thing, she asked for 115 a year and they said no, and they gave her 108.
Okay. That's less than $60 an hour. So still sucks.
So I don't know how to negotiate what to ask for as a newly graduated NP. So that was my other question. And that's why I posed to her. She just recently passed her boards, got a job. And I asked her, like, did she go in with the number? And she said she went in with 115 and they told her that they weren't going to be able to do that. And they gave her 108. So that's where they settled on.
Well, I'll tell you, if their margins are that thin that they can't give you an extra $7,000 a year, come on. Just listening to this boils my blood. Oh my God. Well, a job's a job. I mean, you got to have income coming in. So, it is what it is.
Correct.
Personally, I think the ER job probably would be the better option because you have a little bit more free time. Your schedule's a little bit more liberal, so to speak. And you could probably get more than $60 an hour. If they had a bunch of PAs and stuff leave, they're desperate. So
Yes. And I know that as well. That's true.
I would ask for $75 an hour, bare minimum.
Okay.
Yeah. Be like, okay, well then fine. I'll just go right down the street. They're paying $75 an hour. Why?
Exactly.
Who cares?
Yeah, they are desperate. They definitely are. I think 3 of them have left and they're just super short. Like, I already know that.
Right. I can promise you they can afford $75 an hour. I mean,
Oh yeah.
yeah. I mean, a standard ER visit, what a provider group is billing, I mean, it's going to reimburse thousands of dollars. I mean, come on, they can't pay you $75 an hour. So remember, when you're negotiating, the person who makes the offer first sets the stage.
Correct.
Right.
So kind of high or higher than I normally would is what you're saying?
Yeah. Right. Exactly. So like start with like $80 an hour, for example. You know what I mean?
Got it.
Set the stage. Correct. Yeah. If you let them make the first offer, that's the starting point.
Okay. And we're going down.
Right. Or it might go up a little bit. Yeah. So it's better for you to initiate it first. Okay.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. And understand your worth going into this, like this is the problem with our profession right now is that nurse practitioners do not value themselves. And, you have these businesses that see this. I mean, they see this, they know, and they lowball us. And then people just continue taking this crap and wonder why it just continues to never go up. I mean, inflation went up 8% this year. Everyone should get an 8% raise. Your dollar is worth 8% less than what it was a year ago. So, I've worked ER before as a nurse practitioner. My first ER job as a nurse practitioner was 7-8 years ago. And they started me off at $65 an hour. That was 7 years ago.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah. And that was in a low cost living area too.
Oh, that's crazy.
Correct. Yeah. The last ER job I had was about 3 or 4 years ago. I was getting paid $100 an hour.
Wow. Yeah. So, and that's why I didn't know if it was because, we are new grads and that's why they're offering this. This low of an offer. So that's why I was trying to figure out like, okay, what's a good starting point?
I mean, at least $75 an hour. I mean, you are a new grad. I get that. They're going to need to train you a little bit and whatnot.
Right.
You've been working ER for how long as an RN?
In the ER by itself, literally the last 10 years.
ER.
Yes, I definitely do.
You know what to do. I mean, been in there for 10 years, like sure, the role change is going to be a little different. I mean, what you do as an RN versus what you do as a provider is completely different, but you still know it though. You know what sick is, you know what the labs mean, you know what interventions that need to be prescribed, you know what to do.
Correct. Absolutely.
Right. So you need to bring that experience with you to the table. You'd be like, guys, listen, I worked this as an RN for 10 years. I know more than, probably a doctor in their first year of residency in the ER knows,
Yeah, that makes sense to bring that up.
Yes, bring that up for sure. So anyways, okay, so you got 2 job offers there. I think you said you applied to maybe a couple other positions as well.
So I've been looking. I haven't applied. I've been looking. So I don't think the area is oversaturated. There are a lot of jobs out here. Even just looking, scanning, there are a lot of jobs. And I feel like they're friendly to new grads. Even though they are expecting you to have some experience, I don't think it's overly saturated.
All right. So you're looking for a job. I mean, you're looking for some other jobs. So are you seeing anything that's striking your interest at all?
Yes. So there are a couple of jobs. Like I said, I have never done anything in aesthetics, but I did see two jobs for a dermatologist. But the only thing, the pay was $52. One was $52 an hour. The other one, they didn't present the pay on there. And then there's a couple of ICU jobs at a couple of big hospitals around here, which will give me some great experience, but I don't know how much they're paying. They have a range from 110 to 130, and I've sold one for 140 as well.
Okay. Well, that sounds like that's where the money is. I mean,
Yes.
you've worked ICU as well. So, I mean, you feel
Yeah.
pretty comfortable doing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, my recommendation is to always go where the money is. Okay.
Okay.
How old are you?
I am 39.
39. Okay. So you're pretty much in the prime years of income generation, basically. So, most professionals, most careers and whatnot, you're in your prime for generating income. You really are in your prime for your earning potential between the ages of 35 and 50, essentially.
Okay. Okay.
Those are the prime years. So you're right there in the middle of it. You're 39 years old, or you're more or less at the beginning of it still. So my recommendation is to go where the money is. If you can go in the ICU and make $140,000 a year, that's where I would go.
Okay.
And like you said, it's a great experience. I mean,
Yes.
you're going to learn a lot there. Yeah.
Yes.
The problem is, though, I mean, how much does that experience transfer into other things like doing some sort of outpatient thing? Like, I mean, how much does that actually transfer over? I'd say probably not a whole lot.
Correct. And that's the other thing. So I saw another one at another big area hospital for the acute pain management where they're giving like nerve block, epidurals. And I figure if I move into the aesthetics using that in terms of injecting, that's what I was thinking about. I don't know the pay for that either, though. They didn't present that. So I just was thinking outside the box with that.
Well, you being in a pain clinic, I don't know like how much. I mean, are you doing a lot of injections and stuff as a nurse practitioner, or are you just going to be sitting there doing medication management?
Well, so this is in acute pain in the hospital working with the anesthesia department.
Oh, I see. I gotcha.
Yeah,
I gotcha.
yeah.
How much does that pay?
I don't know. And I'm assuming it should pay pretty well. They didn't show their range or their offer on when I was looking up the information.
Yeah, I would imagine it would pay well. I mean, I would
Yes.
think anyways,
And they're wanting to train as well. So that was the
Perfect.
other perk. Exactly. That was the other perk
Yeah.
about it.
Once you get comfortable doing procedures, learning other procedures is a piece of cake.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, once you get comfortable with a scalpel and, a syringe and a needle and that kind of thing, I mean, once you get comfortable with that, it translates into other procedural skills as well. Cause I mean, it's, you're working with your hands. So once you're comfortable with it, it's easy to learn other stuff.
Okay.
So now before we jump the gun here, you're acute care certified. I mean, what's your scope like? I mean, can you do this outpatient stuff being acute care certified?
In terms of the IV hydration and the concierge, is that what you're asking?
Yeah, like doing outpatient aesthetics and stuff. Can you do that?
I don't see why not. The only thing that, to my knowledge, is for the age, the population, 13, it has to be 13 and up in terms of who I am certified to take care of.
Right. Like I know some states, they're going to outline specifics, for, what each certification, what each license, what you can do. Some states will have specific language in the Nursing Practice Acts. Other states won't. It's very vague. It's open for interpretation.
I think Maryland, if I remember correctly, because this came up before when I was talking to someone else, and I want to say theirs is vague as well.
Okay, perfect. If it's vague, then it's open for interpretation. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. So I know some acute care MPs. I know an acute care MP in Colorado who does men's health and testosterone replacement therapy. She's been doing it for years without a problem. I know another acute care one who does primary care. I know another one that does urgent care. I mean, it's open for interpretation. If your state's laws are vague, then you should be okay. It's basically, it's your training essentially. Can you justify what you're doing? Have you got other training and certificates and CEU and, those sorts of things?
Got it. Okay. So I definitely that in mind.
Correct. Yeah. And like, for example, if you got this job with this dermatologist, I mean, they're
Right.
training you. There you go.
Right.
And you have the training, right?
Exactly. Exactly. That's why I
Right.
was looking at that, but their pay was just so low. Like,
Yeah.
that's almost what
50.
I'm making now as an
Yeah.
RN.
$52. Yeah. $52 an hour as a dermatology nurse practitioner. That seems like an insult.
Correct.
Yeah. That's just insulting. Docs want to keep all the money. That's all it comes
Yeah.
down to.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the truth.
Okay. Well, anyways, so I guess what are your goals here? I know that, that you've been thinking, you might want to do some outpatient aesthetics or something like that. So what's your ultimate goal?
I mean, my ultimate goal is to start some type of practice for myself. And I was really leaning towards IV hydration, all just the wellness portion of this medical profession that I'm in. I've seen a lot of the hospital, the tertiary care, and I just want to move away from that and just kind of build people up and make people feel better in that respect. So looking for IV hydration and nurse concierge is really my goal.
Okay. So you want to get out of the hospital, basically.
Yes.
Why did you pick acute care?
I know it. And I guess I was just so used to it being in the ICU and in the ER. Like I felt like I didn't know anything else.
Okay. Well, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you can always go back and get a postmaster's FNP if you needed to, but let's just
That's
try to work with
true.
what you got. Yeah. Let's just
That's
work
true.
with what you got.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it's within your scope and everything's fine, then hell with it. Use what
Correct.
you got. Okay. Okay. So you want to do some aesthetics, wellness, IV hydration, that kind of stuff. What job is going to help you the most in terms of getting there? So the procedural stuff would definitely help. Working
Right.
for a dermatologist would certainly help. ER is, I mean, it could help you a little bit. You're going to do some procedures in the ER. So I mean, you get handy with with a needle and whatnot.
That's true. That's true with sutures and yeah, I guess, but not as much as I feel like the other two.
Yeah, I agree. ICU is not going to really help you out much other than just generating some income for you.
Correct. Correct. Which
Yeah.
is will be important.
Correct. It's going to be important, but you need to think about this. You need to think of that. If you get this job in the ICU and that's what you learn, it's what you're going to get used to. And it's going to be hard to,
Mm,
it's
kind
going
of
to be hard to
transit.
get out of it.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't think about
Yeah.
that.
What happens to a lot of nurse practitioners is that, whatever the first job is, they kind of get stuck doing it because you learn it, you start getting comfortable with it.
Right.
And
Right.
right,
Getting good at
right.
it. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's what happened with me. I mean, I worked urgent care in the ER. And that's what I did.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was all I could do.
Right. Okay. Until
Right.
you step.
Right. It was hard. It was hard breaking out of that and trying different things.
I believe that. I can see that as well.
Yeah.
That's why I've been in the
So,
ER for so long.
right. You don't know anything else. It's just kind of just what you do.
Exactly.
Right. But, you see these people who've worked the ER for 20, 30 years. I mean, I don't
Yes.
know. Like, I don't know very many ER docs who are, in their late 50s, early 60s who have a soul. So they're just kind of just there.
That is hilarious because I'm picturing a couple of docs right now. That's
Right,
hilarious.
right. Everyone listening knows exactly what I'm talking about. They look like
Correct.
80s from Hercules movie. You know what I mean? Like they're just there. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You don't want to get that way. You don't want to be that way.
No, 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 not at all.
So, okay. So then let's figure out a plan here. What are you going to do? I guess it really just going to come down to where you're going to work first and foremost. You got to get some income coming in, right?
Yes.
So my recommendation, and this is for everybody, is do not go 100% in on a business. It's a bad idea. You need to have some sort of income coming in, which is a job, part-time at a minimum.
Okay. You mean 100% as in not working as salary, getting money every day type job, just going in and doing that alone? Is that what you're talking about?
Right. Going all in on your business without
Oh,
having
okay.
another
Okay.
income stream. Yeah. Right. Unless you have, 6 to 12 months of living expenses in the bank.
No.
Okay. Yeah. So if you don't have that, then it's a bad idea going all in on a business.
Got it. That makes sense.
Okay.
Okay.
There's too much risk and you're going to be stressed out because you're having to pay the bills in your business and you're also having to pay bills at home too. It's too much.
Right. Right. That's
Yeah.
true.
So you need to get an income stream coming in. You just need to. Okay. This is why it's part of the Elite NP model. Have at least a part-time business and a part-time job as well. So the part-time
Okay.
job or the full-time job should pay for your life, your personal expenses. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The business is what's going to build your wealth long term. Okay.
Got it.
So you look at the business as an investment. Okay.
Okay.
You're investing into your future self. You're not going to make much money through this part-time business, probably for the first 6 to 12 months, but then you will begin making money, and then you can transition over possibly to full-time in your business. Okay.
Yeah. Right. Which is the plan.
That's the plan for everybody, is to get, to get to that point. It took me a couple of years to get there personally. All right. I hope everyone's enjoying the episode so far. I just wanted to take a quick break to thank everyone listening and also give a big thank you to all of my social media followers and email subscribers. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to our email list at www.elitenp.com and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Email subscribers will receive updates on new weekly podcast episodes, multiple weekly articles we publish, new courses, and everything else related to helping you succeed. Remember, all Elite Nurse Practitioner courses are designed to help you build a niche practice, increase your financial strength, and to break free from the rat race. If I can break free and that other countless nurse practitioners can break free, then so can you. Additionally, please share this podcast with your other nurse practitioner sisters and brothers out there. The more NPs that venture out on their own, the stronger our profession will become. Now, let's get back to the episode. It usually takes a couple of years to get there unless you just hit gold. I mean, sometimes some people just get in the right market at the right time and offer the right service, So yeah, my recommendation is to then get a job that's going to allow you to have a little flexibility.
Okay. In terms of hours.
Schedule.
Because, a lot of them, especially the ICU, the schedule isn't great. They want the rotating day, night, weekends, like the whole shebang. And where I am in my life right now, like I don't want to do that. The dermatology office obviously has Monday through Friday hours or 4 10-hour shifts for the ER. So that flexibility would be better versus going to the ICU.
Yeah, those rotations are rough. It's tough on your body. It's tough on your mind.
And I've worked nights for a long time, and
It sucks.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, I hate nights. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so then in the ER, it would be 4 10s a week?
Correct. If that's full time. Yeah. And they have these crazy shifts, like they're coming in 6 a.m. and then it's one provider. Like I feel like since this new group has come on, they aren't supported. I mean, it's so many, their patient load is so high, and it's one provider for almost 6 hours during the day until the second provider comes on. And I don't know if that's just because they're short or if this is how their schedule is.
Yeah, the ER has funky schedules like that. One provider's from 6 to 9, and then the 10 o'clock person comes in, and then a 3 o'clock person comes in, and like at 5 o'clock, the peak day, there's like 4 providers there. And then,
yeah, that's true.
Would you have to work nights?
No, there's at that ER where I am now, there's somebody dedicated doing nights 5 days a week. I think she does it. And then somebody else does the other 2. So no, it'll just be the day evening. Okay.
So you're going to work like 6 a.m. to like 4 p.m. or something. And then what's
the other? I think it's like a 4 to 11 or 4 to, I think it's a 4 to 11. I feel like I guess they leave late anyway because they're charting. So I'm not sure of the shift, but I know they stay late to chart.
Right. It's still one of those second shifts though. It's one of those
correct.
Late.
Yes.
Right. Well, if you can get a mix of it or stay on a consistent schedule, it'll help your mind, soul, and body. And then you'll have, a day or two out of the week that you can focus on, building your side business up. What about the schedule with the pain management place?
I don't know. I think it's going to be the same because it's in hospital, and it didn't have any shifts on there. So I'm assuming that it's going to be the same because it's in a big hospital system that we have here.
I gotcha. Okay. Experience wise, I think you being in the ER it'll make you a very well-rounded provider. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I think working ER urgent care as a nurse practitioner is one of the best places you can be to get good, solid experience.
Got it.
Yeah. So I think from that standpoint, I think the ER probably would be the best place. They just pay you crap, but $60 an hour at 40 hours a week is about $120,000 a year.
Okay.
So while it's not terrible, it's okay.
Right.
So
right.
Yeah, if you can get that up a little bit more, maybe get it up to $70 an hour, I say take the ER job.
Okay.
Yeah, because you will. I'll tell you, if you can give that place 2 or 3 years, you will walk away a very well-rounded provider, you will pretty much know how to treat just about everything. Okay.
Okay.
You see everything in the ER. That's what's great about it.
That's true.
I mean, I'm the provider I am today because I've worked ER urgent care. No question about it. I'm fairly confident with most things.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense.
Right. So maybe consider that if you can get, if you can get the pay up. So then, whatever job it is that you take, just make sure that it's flexible, that you have at least a couple days out of the week that you can focus on the side gig. Okay. You want a little flexibility here. Monday through Friday at the dermatology office would basically be no flexibility.
Correct.
Right. Unless you want to work on Saturday and Sunday, and then you just have no life.
Right. Right. I think it's one of those 9 to 5 or
right.
whatever their hours are. Yeah.
It's hard to start a side business when you're working 9 to 5 Monday through Friday. It just is. So, if you could have one day during the week and have it that day be consistent every Thursday or something, like you need to tell them, I need to have Thursdays off. I cannot work any Thursdays, for example.
Okay. Got it.
Okay. And then that way you have a dedicated day to focus on your side hustle.
Right.
So IV hydration is easy. It's a simple practice to start. There's a little bit of some overhead to it and whatnot. You're not going to make a fortune doing IV hydration though. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. You're not going to make that much money doing it. It's a great service. Don't get me wrong. Okay. It's a great little practice to start, but it's not the most profitable practice you can start by any stretch of the imagination.
Okay.
Okay. Doing other services is where the money is, HRT, hormone replacement therapy, weight loss, those sorts of things, maybe the concierge care. All right. You probably make more money doing that.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know.
Think about, I want you to think about this real quick. So IVs, you got to mix the bag. You got to start the IV. You got to manage the IV. You got to take the IV out. You got to discharge the patient. It's laborsome.
Right.
And you're going to make, let's just say, for example, you charge $250 for the IV. It's going to cost you in supplies anywhere between $50 to $100, just depending on what kind of IV it is. So your profit would be, $150 or something like that.
Okay.
Well, $150 sounds great. It probably took you close to an hour to get the patient in and out.
Okay. So unless I'm seeing a lot of patients at one time, it's not going to be as profitable.
Exactly. It's a volume game.
Okay.
Right. So, it takes you an hour to make $150 profit. I can make that in 5 minutes giving someone a cannabis card.
Oh, okay.
See what I mean? Right. Or prescribing someone testosterone replacement therapy. You know what I mean? Like at my men's health clinic, for example, I see these patients every 3 to 6 months. They pay my practice, $160, $165 a month or whatever it is. And I talk to them for 10 minutes every 3 to 6 months. You tell me what's more profitable.
Okay.
So,
I never even thought about like hormone replacement or anything like that.
Yeah. I think what you need to do is, you need to go to the drawing board here. Okay. You want to start some sort of wellness practice or something, which is great.
Yes.
Okay. I think you just need to go to the drawing board. I think you need to do some market research in your area and determine what there is and what there isn't.
Okay. I know for sure because I've been researching the IV hydration and the type of practice that I foresee in the future for myself. They're actually within like 15 minutes of me. There are actually 3 of these wellness places around me. And I think 2 of them actually just opened up recently. One of them has been open, I think the longest is 3 years. And there's one men's health. And I didn't even realize this, but when I Googled IV hydration, the men's health came and it's literally across the street from my house. And I didn't know that. I've been living there for like 6 years. So I think within 15 minutes is 3 like IV hydration, aesthetics type thing. And then there's that one men's health within like 15 minutes of my house.
So what you're saying is it's kind of saturated. There's some competition.
Correct.
Yeah. I don't recommend starting a business in a highly saturated area with a lot of competition. Okay. Unless those places have long wait times and the demand's still there. The only way you find that out is you just call the practice up and act like you're a patient. Hey, how long does it take to get an appointment? You know what I mean?
Okay. Just to see if I can schedule an appointment, how soon they will be able to book me. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Right. You just got to call them up and, do some digging, do some spy work. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. See what their prices are and whatnot. Sometimes you can undercut them by 10% or so, and that can generate some business for you if you're cheaper.
Right.
You could do that as well. Now, I want you to be thinking of something else here. You are in Maryland, is there a town or is there a city within an hour drive that might be a little bit more rural that doesn't have these services?
Yes.
So what you need to do is you need to go to Google Maps and you start looking at these cities, within an hour drive of you. And that's where you need to open. Go where there's no competition.
Okay.
I know the thought of driving 45 minutes or an hour away sucks. But you'll make a lot more money.
So it'll be worth it then.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely was thinking about like literally within like 15, 20 minutes of myself. And that's where, like I said, there's at least three that literally probably 5 minutes away from my house. All three of them.
Right. And then what's within 20 minutes? I guarantee you it's probably double that.
Yeah, sure. You're right.
You know,
Probably.
20, 30 minutes, probably even more than that. Right. So that's what I'm
Exactly.
saying. Yeah. Look out in the more of the suburbs or the rural areas. There are gold mines out there in this country. Okay. Like a lot of people are like, everything's saturated. There's too much competition. I'm going to give up. I'm not even going to try. That's a stupid way to think about this. There are still lots of untapped markets out there. Okay. These towns of 10, 20, 30,000 people, you know, on the outskirts of cities or out in little more rural areas, there's money there. And these services are just as much in demand in those places as they are in the cities. So, you know, there's gold mines out there. I know some NPs that started little wellness practices in towns of 10, 15, 20,000 people, and they're just absolutely killing it.
Okay. Yeah, because I think when I looked it up, the town we live in is like 70,000, it said. Almost 70, 80,000. I guess you would think that will be enough of the pie to go around, but these places are popping up like everywhere now.
Well, you're 20 minutes outside of DC, though. I mean, this is practically just one giant city.
Okay.
Right. I mean, is there really much land between you and DC, or is it just kind of a continuous just town?
Yeah, you're right. A continuous town.
Right, exactly. I mean, there's millions of people here. You know what I mean? There's a
Right.
lot of people, right?
Okay.
I think the general rule of thumb is that I think one wellness clinic or one men's health clinic, one IV clinic, whatever, for every 50,000 people in a larger
Really?
city. I think, yeah, I think so.
Oh, wow. Okay. I guess I'm always thinking about like how the nail shops survive and the barber shops survive. They're like
Correct.
one on the corner.
But those are, a barber shop is more of an essential service. I mean, everyone needs a haircut. Everyone doesn't need
Okay.
IVs.
Correct. Okay. That makes
Right.
sense.
And nails too. It's not a
Uh,
medical need. I mean, just people just want
Correct.
their nails done, right? But the one clinic for every 50,000 people. That's just been from just other NPs I've talked with over the last few years. Okay, it's just I don't really have any kind of empirical data to back that up. It's just
Sure.
kind of what I think is the number from talking to people. Right.
Okay.
So if you can venture out though a little bit, 45 minutes to an hour away, I think that you'll probably do a lot better, and your chances for success will be much higher.
Okay. Yeah, I hadn't even thought about that. And I'm sure if I wanted to like get a office space, it'll also be a lot cheaper as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause
Yeah.
I was looking at prices for these office spaces and I'm like, whoa, they're almost 2,200 a month.
No, you could probably go into more of a smaller town and pay 1,000
Yeah.
and see
Okay.
more patients and make more money.
Right. Right.
So be thinking of that. Okay. You're going to have to do some market research, hop on Google and just start looking up services, hormone replacement therapy, weight loss, IV services, all of these little niche services. Look these things up in some of those other towns. Go to the one that doesn't have it.
Got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's where you want to open up. But in the meantime, I think your priority right now is securing employment. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a list of things that I feel like that, a new grad NP needs to secure and get done before really investing a lot of money into a business. Number
Okay.
one is get a good job first. Okay. You got to have income. And number two is start building up an emergency fund. You want at least 6 to 12 months of living expenses in the bank.
Okay.
That provides you massive security.
Right.
Right. Yeah. When you have 12 months of living expenses in the bank, that's what I call partial FU money.
Okay.
Yeah. So start working on that. Debt. How much debt do you have?
Well, I just consolidated all my credit cards and paid them down. So I have, I put it to 3 years. So I'm just paying that back. It was a personal loan that I got. So I just did that. I have a student loan debt, but I just paid down most of my credit cards. So a rough estimate, probably like $4,000 in total of credit card bills. Then I have my student loan. I got a car and a mortgage.
All right. Well, let's not count the mortgage. That's
Okay.
generally good debt. How much do you owe in student loans?
38,000.
All right. That's not that bad. What about your car?
I have 7,200 approximately left on that.
So you're sitting on like $45,000 in debt minus your mortgage.
Correct.
You could pay that off in a year,
Okay.
2 years, easily.
Oh,
First thing,
okay.
you pay that credit card debt off. Get rid of it.
I know
Pay,
that was the first thing. That's why I'm like, let me get this out of the way. It's very
pay. Yeah, it's expensive debt. That's stupid debt. Pay that off immediately.
got it.
Once you pay that off, pay your car off.
Okay.
Student loans, pay a
I'm
little
kind
extra every month.
okay. I'm kind of hoping because it's on deferment now. I guess until August they said, and I haven't heard anything yet that they're gonna start to reinstate it. So we'll see what happens.
Even if they defer, you still owe it. It doesn't
True.
magically go. It's still there. Like, get rid of it.
That's true.
The government's not going to cancel everyone's student loan. Don't be betting on it. Okay. So,
Okay. I was hoping
yeah,
for it.
you and a lot of people. There's just no way they could do that. Like, it's going to worsen inflation. It's not going to happen.
Okay.
If they are going to do it, it's going to be like $10,000 student loan forgiveness. That's it.
Okay. I
Right.
mean, any little bit helps.
Sure, but don't bet the farm on it here. Okay. So pay your credit card debt off, pay your car payment off, and then start throwing money at that student loans. Get rid of it. Be debt free. I'm telling you, being debt free is the best thing in the world. So, like, those are the 3 tasks that I really want you to focus on right now as a new grad. Okay. Get a good job, pay off your debts, build that emergency fund up. Okay.
Okay.
And then I want you to start throwing a little bit of money into another account for your business startup fund.
Okay. So before I actually take the leap to, I guess, not to officially transition, but to start like thinking about even opening up or doing anything on the side, it should be 6 to 12 months after I've been working. Is that what you're saying?
I think as a new grad, you can start a practice. I think that, with solid RN experience behind you and whatnot, you can start one of these little niche practices easily as a new grad. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
In your situation, though, I feel like that you're going to be better served securing a solid full-time job, getting that emergency fund built up and paying off some of this debt. I think that would probably pay more dividends for you right now than venturing out and starting a business, within the next month or 2.
Okay.
Okay. That's just my opinion. I think that get a year under your belt, in the ER if you can. I think you're going to get a lot of good experience there. Start building up your financial health and your well-being and your financial fortress. Okay.
Okay.
I don't want you taking a loan out to start this business.
No. Definitely not want to do that.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you can pay off that stupid debt, you're talking about $11,000-$12,000, I guess, right around just debt for your car and your credit cards. You could pay that off in 3 to 6 months.
That's true.
Pay it off and start putting a little bit of money away for your emergency fund. Try to get at least 6 months of living expenses in the bank.
Okay.
At that point, you are in a good position to start a business. Okay. In a really, really good position. And then what you start doing is I want you to build up a fund of at least $10,000. Okay. Before you start this business.
Okay. $10,000. I gotta stay disciplined with that then.
Yes, this requires discipline. Correct. But it's going to pay off. Trust me. It'll pay off. Yeah. And then save up $10,000 for your business. At that point, that's when you start the business. Unless there is just a perfect opportunity and you got to jump on it. Then at that point, maybe borrow some money from some family or something.
Oh, there's no family to borrow money from.
Fair enough. Yeah. I'm the same way. No one's giving me any money in my family. But yeah, so then maybe just save up, $5,000 to $10,000 before you jump into it.
Correct. So you wouldn't suggest like if someone's offering some IV hydration in a box to go there, if they're offering that for $10,000-$15,000, that wouldn't be a smart move.
What do you mean? Like someone's going to sell you their business?
No. Someone's like pretty much putting it together for you.
Why would you pay someone $10,000 to $15,000 to do that for you?
No, I'm just researching. So just like I said, because I really wanted to do IV hydration, I've been researching different things and people have been emailing me different things. Like they can do this, they can do that. So I just figured I'd ask that to make sure, because I've been hesitant about it, but I'm like, I don't have that kind of money just sitting around to do that.
Wait. Who wants you to give them $10,000 or $15,000 for what?
So there's different companies around here. I guess you can call them companies who are offering IV hydration, quote unquote, in a box, where they set up your marketing, they set up, I guess, your pharmacy, where to get your products from, they do your website, and blah blah blah, on and on and on.
You do realize you could do all that yourself for $3,000 or $4,000.
Oh wow!
Like if you took our course, it's $500. It
Right,
literally walks you through it.
Okay, I did see that you offer it for $500. Okay.
Correct. It's $500. You're going to get like 8 continuing education credits out of it. You can have your employer pay for it if you want, reimburse you for it. It
Okay.
gives you all the forms you need, all the vendors. It literally walks you through it.
Okay.
Don't pay some shark $10,000 or $15,000 to do it for you. Absolutely not. I can't believe people pay these people that. That's just ridiculous. Don't.
Yes, they definitely have it. They're offering it.
Yeah, of course they are. No.
Okay.
No, don't do that.
All right. Now when I can do it for myself. Okay.
It's not that hard.
Okay.
It's not. Starting a business is pretty easy. It's really not that difficult. Yeah. Like you would be better taking one of our courses and just following the steps in it. Like you're going to get much larger return on investment. If you want to start your own business, like if you were just like dead set on it, start a little mobile IV infusion or a little mobile aesthetics thing or something, and just kind of like, just a little small thing you can kind of do here and there, make a few extra $1,000 here and there.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But I would
So
do something simple like that at first.
right. So in your course, with my job right now as an RN, just wondering if my tuition reimbursement, would it pay for that for your course?
It should. I mean, if they just require a continuing education, credit certificate to show proof, that it should.
Okay. Okay. Well, then that's
because once you're done, you get a CE, you get a CE certificate.
yes.
Yeah, I mean, we're credentialed with the ANCC, so that those credits apply to any board of nursing, ANCC, AANP. I mean, yeah. So
I didn't know that. Okay, awesome.
Yeah, trust me, you're better off spending the $500 on that course and giving some shark $15,000.
Enough
Like,
said.
They're going to give you a website and they're going to create the vendor accounts for you. Wow, that's just no. No.
Hey,
You could pay someone $1,000 to start this website for you. Hell, you could do it yourself on GoDaddy. It's not that hard.
Yes, I've started a website before. Okay.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah. And the marketing and stuff, this stuff isn't rocket science. Yeah. Don't give those people that money. Please don't.
Okay. I'm glad that we spoke about that.
Yeah. If you are, please message me. I'll take your $15,000 to start it for you.
Okay. I got you. All right.
Yeah. Anyways. All right. So do you have any other questions?
No, I think for the most part, I have a direction now, because I was definitely torn between what should I do. And I think that those 3 things listed out are very helpful, will keep me focused, and I can literally check them off the list.
Exactly. That's exactly what you can do. You can check them off. That's what I did. I was like, okay, that debt's paid off. Now the next one, that one's paid off. All right, I got 12 months emergency fund. All right. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Put that on a dry erase board in your office or in your bedroom or something like that. And just look at it every day and then check them off.
That's what we have in our bedroom, because that's what my husband does. Check everything off. He has a list. So
there you go. That should be your goal, is to just get some basic financial security first. Okay. And then venture out into this. Yeah. Okay. And, if you want to do a little side hustle just to make some extra cash, I mean, I know some NPs that just go, they do aesthetics for friends and family, or they'll go to like a salon and do a little Botox party or something. They'll pocket a few $1,000s and walk away. I mean, there's ways to make some money here without starting a business. You know what I mean?
Got it. Okay. I didn't think about that.
So you could do that, like you could do IV infusion for people at your church or friends and family or at your salon or whatever. There's ways you can make a little money here and there. Okay.
Without just jumping all the way out there like that.
Correct. All right. So instead of giving an office and having a full-fledged, wellness clinic, I would say hold off on that for a year or two. Get your financial health in order first.
Okay. Yeah. Because I was ready to go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I mean, do it, but just a little side hustle though, kind of a thing first though.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I definitely can do that then. We've definitely opened up some ideas here now. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Any other questions?
No, I think we've covered everything. I didn't realize this was where we were going to take it, but I think this is what I needed. So
yeah, that's kind of how these calls end up going. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
We just go down rabbit holes. So, all right, well, anyways, I like to end the episodes with you asking me a question. Do you have any personal questions or anything like that for me?
Personal questions. I guess when you first started, because I don't think I know this, the first business that failed for you, which one was that? That
was the opioid addiction Suboxone practice.
Okay. And why did it fail?
Because I took insurance and I had like a little part-time employee. I was seeing patients without being credentialed with insurance for free. I basically just did everything wrong.
Okay.
If you could just say something wrong you can do in your business, I did it wrong.
Okay. So you learned a lot from that.
I learned a lot of lessons from it. Correct. My second business succeeded. So Oftentimes, the first business someone starts fails.
Right.
But the lessons that you learn from that failure are what's going to make your second business successful.
Even better. Okay. That makes sense.
Even better. Correct. Right. The problem is, though, is that a lot of people never get back up. They fail and then they never try again. Well, yeah, of course you're going to fail. You never tried again. It's not failure until you give up. It's only an experiment. Right.
I like that outlook. Okay. Great perspective.
Right. You only fail when you give up. If you don't give up, it's nothing more than an experiment. I tried, it didn't work. I'm going to try this now. It's an experiment, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So remember that.
Yes, I will. I definitely will.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. You're like really doing it out here. And I want to say thank you. And I'm proud of you as a fellow nurse practitioner.
Well, thank you very much. That made me smile. I appreciate that.
No problem.
All right. Well, you take care of yourself. Shoot me an email if you have any other questions or anything. Okay.
Okay. I sure will. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. I hope everyone enjoyed the episode with Love. The big thing here is that sometimes you really should get your financial status in order first before you start a practice. You know, I'm all for everyone starting their own practice. Starting your own practice, developing an additional income stream is really the fastest path to wealth generation as a nurse practitioner. It really is, okay? When you start generating income from a business, your financial health will improve so fast. You can pay off debt faster and that kind of stuff. But as a new grad, I think securing employment first and paying off some debt and getting an emergency fund in place is critically important. Starting a business without an emergency fund, I think, is a recipe for a lot of anxiety in your life. So before you start a business, I really think that you should have at a minimum 3 months living expenses in the bank. If you can get 6 months, even better. If you can do 12 months, even better, okay? I always maintain a 12-month emergency fund in the bank. When I started my first practice, I had a 6-month emergency fund in the bank. So it's really, really important. Get that emergency fund built up, develop financial redundancy, okay? Have financial strength, build that fortress for your financial health. It'll help you secure you and your family's health and well-being. It really will. And it'll reduce your stress and anxiety when you get a business started. So I hope everyone enjoyed this episode. A lot of great pearls in here for any new grad NPs out there listening to this. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Take care. Bye. Thank you for listening to the show. Quick legal disclaimer. The content of this podcast is meant for informational and entertainment purposes only and should not be used as legal, financial, medical, regulatory, or practice-specific advice. For information pertaining to your specific legal, financial, medical, or practice-specific needs, please be sure to consult with your lawyer, CPA, medical director, and/or your state's practice laws and the most up-to-date clinical guidelines. As always, do your due diligence when it comes to any information found online and in podcasts. The content in this podcast is copyrighted by Galaxy Medical Southwest 2022 and cannot be duplicated, rebroadcasted, or reproduced without our written permission.